everybody, and welcome to another episode of Thoughts Express. My name is Mimi Bonnie today, and I will be your host. We're currently live on all social media platforms on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. If you ever want to be on here, want to be a host on here, all you have to do is inbox us at Wyattsdot Production, and we would love to have you on here. Before introducing everybody, we'll take a short, quick break, and we'll be right back.
Right here. Bro, I know this is No. Welcome back. My name is Mimi Bonnie. As said earlier, I am your host for today. You can follow me on IG at royalty.royalty.com. I'm gonna go from my left and let everybody introduce themselves and also say the IG.
All right. Hi, my name is Ghana Bay. My IG is Angie Arthur, and the U and Arthur is an X.
Hi, my name is Nana Kwejo, and my Instagram page, the username handle is Nana_Kwejo with 3 O's.
Hi, my name is Obi Amponsa.
Hi, Obi.
I'm on Instagram as Obi Amponsa with 1 O and 1 A in Amponsa and another A after the S. I don't know. Since we are being specific. So Obi Amponsa, yeah.
Okay, done.
Yeah, my name is Philip Opori to me. I'm on IG as Feel Good Services and Facebook as the same.
All right, so my name is Lexi the Comic. Too cute to be mute. So on IG is Lexi the Comic.
So we're gonna dive right into the topic, but before we do that, we do have 2 comedians here today. So we're gonna let them reintroduce each other and talk about a little bit more. Well, let me say what the topic is. The topic is laughter the best medicine? The healing power of comedy as therapy for mental health. And since we have 2 comedians here today, we're gonna let them talk a little bit about what they do. So Obi.
So we need to I'm introducing myself.
Yes, reintroducing and talk a little bit more about what you do.
Okay, so my name is my actual name or name given to me by my parents are Emmanuel and Kansa and so. But my showbiz name is Lexi the Comic. I've been doing comedy for like 10 years. Specifically stand up. I do radio, I do TV. So I make people laugh. That is all.
Let's go.
Oh, small. Send me the buy.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
Yes.
So my name is Obi Amponsa. I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm an optometrist as well, and I'm a TV host of a satiric show called Half Serious Show on GH1 TV. Then I host with Lexi. We host it together. We have a radio show as well on Plus. Comedy. I've been a comedian for all my life, I'm sure. But professionally would be like 7-8 years. Yeah, and yeah, I've done a couple of shows around the world. I've been with Basket Mouth, Kojeni, at Nigeria. I've been to South Africa to do a couple of comedy clubs there. I've done Rwanda, I've done Zambia, I've done London, I've done Dubai, and I'm in the States now. So you know what I'm saying. Yeah, recently we just did me and Lexi went to Go Bananas Comedy Club. We did some open spots there and it was good. So yeah.
And then the one in Columbus.
And then we had the final one in Columbus too. Yeah, it was beautiful. So we are here just doing our thing, you know.
Let me check the time, guys. So we're gonna go into our first scenario. Sarah, a survivor of a traumatic experience, shares her journey of using stand-up comedy as a therapeutic outlet. How can we use humor during times of traumatic experience? This goes with the whole group.
Okay, so I'll quote one popular man.
Quoting.
Yeah. Power answer. He said to make someone cry is quite easy, but to make somebody laugh takes extra effort. And the ability to make people laugh is not given to just anybody. If you have that ability, you are choosing among the few that God thinks that you can change the world. Because even in God's infinite wisdom, doesn't make mankind laugh at a go. Once we are happy, probably somebody is crying somewhere. And for me to get you from that point where you feel sad and throw away your problem for even a period of time just to laugh, it should count. And it doesn't really come. And I don't know what it does to the mental health of people. So I'm a comedian, but anytime I throw up a joke in there, people get to laugh, and you get people coming to you to say, "Oh, like I came to the show with this kind of problem, and for a minute I just forgot, and you did me a great service. I really appreciate it." And it's really amazing to hear some of these feedback when after a performance you get it from people. And yes, I think one way or the other we are helping heal people from wherever they are going through, if not for the rest of their lives. I mean, for a period of time within their life, they are able to like escape it.
That's true. And I definitely see that because when people go through traumatic experience, they can either go the positive route or the negative route. So there's a way they can go through like a really deep route where they use drugs and unhealthy ways to overcome that. But when they use something as beautiful as comedy to overcome that, I think that's like the positive. That's like the best outcome that there is to that.
Yeah, I once had a fan call to a TV show I was on, and then he said the day before my special, I did a special last year in December. He had bought tickets to come, but his house got burnt down.
Whoa.
Yeah, and his family were devastated, but he had bought tickets, so he decided to come to see how he would be able to relax. And it really did him good, like coming for the show. And he called to say that I didn't even know that happened. And so comedy is a good relief from pain. For us, even comedians, when things happen to us, we try to make fun of them so that you'll be laughing at it, but it's relief for us. You know, sharing pain, and then people. That's why I think Kevin Hart has a comedy special called
Laugh at My Pain.
Yeah. So yeah, when people laugh at your pain, like it's kind of therapeutic for you, the comedian. Yeah.
It definitely helps you. Also, sorry, it also helps you better relate to people, right? Because you don't know, a lot of people are probably going through the same thing that you went. So for somebody to see you and be like, "Oh, she's laughing about it. I could probably laugh about it too," and help people move on from it.
That's the point I was going to make. Problem shared is problem half solved. Right. So I'll take it into
Dog, not in a compound house.
Sometimes it doubles where you share.
I'll take that. It depends on where you share or who you share it to. But in this case, you sharing it with your fans and then using it as a motivation for them. Yeah. So to answer the question, I'll look at it two ways, right? One is the comedian using the pain that they've gone through to share. Sometimes we see these celebrities, stars, icons as people that do not really have like emotions or do not go through raw emotions, right? So for us to see them talk about the things that they've been through, real life, where actually in some cases they are witnesses to it, then we are able to see that, okay, if they are going through it and then they are surviving and doing okay with it, then we can also survive. So that is one part. The other part is me going through some stressful moments, some traumatic moments, whatever is going on in my life. And then I go and say and hear all these jokes, and then I laugh for an extended period of time. What the body does is, as we laugh so much, the body releases some chemicals that makes us happy, right? And that is why you cannot be laughing and be sad at the same time. Sometimes people talk about being able to multitask and being able to do 2-3 things at the same time, but really the brain stops at some point, focuses on one thing, and then it comes to the next, right? So when you're even listening and reading, the brain stops at some point for you to really listen or for you to really read, right? So in this case, for you to be in that space where you are enjoying the jokes for an extended period of time, it does a lot of good. And it does not just stop there. Even after you leave, you still reminisce on some of the jokes that they said, right? So it plays back and then it still works on you. So yes, comedy is a strong form of therapy, and no matter what you're going through, it is okay to still laugh.
Yeah, okay. So like with serious matters, sometimes I think I had this experience. So my brother went through this serious thing, but like I tried to, kind of make some happy moments out of it, so and I make a stupid joke out of it. But he loved it out, but at the end, it was just fun and all that. Ali, of side kind of they were saying.
All right, so your ability to make some jokes out of it for him to laugh it out, make him not to be too stressed about what he did to the car, right? Yeah. Because at that point, probably he's thinking about what is Kojo going to say, what is Dad going to say about the car, right?
That couldn't be it.
So that is a moment for him to just, exit from the reality and then have some fun.
And then there are some too soon moments as well.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I was like, this is not time for.
And that is also true.
Yeah, that is somebody just got bombed in Gaza.
Right.
Ready to hear a joke? And,
right. But here's the thing, though. One thing may be funny to one person and not funny to the other.
Yeah, funny is relative.
Right. So even when you go for comedy shows, like not all the jokes you're going to laugh at, but then you see someone laughing at almost every joke. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. So in the I was going to say congregation, in the audience.
You know dog, before you, and you know the funny thing, when somebody tells a joke and the other person finds it funny, and you don't find it funny, and you don't get mad at the comedian. You get mad at the person like, what's funny?
But sometimes the job of the comedian, your problem may be bigger than their job.
Yeah.
So they'll try as much as possible, but still you'll not be laughing because your problem is so serious.
If it's more spiritual, we can help. But the funny part of it is mostly when we have friends, we are like a bunch of friends, and we have that particular guy who once in a while make us laugh. We rather see him as the clown, and we try to downplay their contribution to some of our conversations. And if you're not careful, that thing, if it's really eating to the person's head, might stop him from actually expressing himself. But we don't know what he or she contributes to the clique, because one way or the other, when everybody is uptight and we are going through a few struggles, he would rather ease up the tension within. But we rather see that person as like you are on serious, you don't take life too serious, and it goes a long way probably to affect whoever eases up that tension.
Is there any other inputs before moving to the next name?
Ghana Babe.
Ghana Babe, do you
That's your name.
Ghana Babe.
You've ever been in a situation where things were not really going well for you during the day, but then your friends or the group that you are in start to make jokes or do something funny, which in turn brightens your mood and your day? How was that experience like, and why does our body act like that? Ghana Babe.
Okay. I have like an example. So like last year when I was going through like, I want to say like, it was a hard time for like me and my family and stuff like that. And like I had like a bunch of my friends come over to like, support and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And like just have like them coming and like just being there to like brighten the mood and just making me laugh, like small, like little shit and stuff like that. Like in that, like in the moment, like even though I was sad and shit like that, I'm overtaken. In the moment, even though I was sad, them being there and like making like small little jokes and like just basically trying to make me happy and stuff like that, like took my mind off of like what was going on around me.
So here's my piece on that. Sometimes when you're going through a rough time and then you have people over trying to brighten the mood, as Obi said, sometimes what they might be saying or doing, you do not find it funny or entertaining, or you don't think the time is right for all of that, right? And as I said, I wouldn't know what is right for you or not. So I want to say that when someone is trying to reach out and you think that the timing is not right, please let them know. let's not assume that they know that, man, I just lost someone and they here trying to laugh in my presence, right? Because for some people, that may be the perfect avenue for them to have an outlet and they laugh with the individuals. For someone also, it's like, I'm grieving so much that I cannot even crack a smile, let alone laugh, right? So, and culture also plays a role. And for some cultures, if you see laughing when you have a deceased family member, especially very close one, then it seems like you are unconcerned. So sometimes we have to also be mindful of the cultural context. But in any case, the individual that is bothered about what is going on should be able to speak up. And there is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you can't force comedy.
No.
CPS has to be ready to laugh. And if the person is not in the mood, you don't just, you should respect people's emotions at certain points. We don't always want to be happy. That would be a crazy world to live in, where you see everybody laughing. Yeah. There are moments. People should be allowed to grieve. Don't just tell somebody's grief because you think you have a funny joke about it. Yeah. So comedy should appeal to emotions as well. You shouldn't just rush through it and then try to salvage moments which do not really need humor at that point. Yeah.
But you realize that even with that one, there's a time for it.
I'm not type to like always be sad. Like I don't like being sad person or like being with people. Like I'm just not. I don't like being sad in front of people. So like I get it's just a time to grieve, but then there's also a time for like, well, like I don't know how to put. Like I know what I want to say. It's not coming out. But like I don't like being sad in front of my friends. Like if I'm sad, I want to have my little moment.
I
like to have my moment where it's like I do like like I have my little like if it's like a couple hours, a couple days, or like when I'm sad. I don't like taking my I don't know how to put it. Like I don't like taking my problems to like other people. Like I'll be sad in like my own moments. Like I don't like being sad. I hate being sad. Like,
yeah, I think that's the point he's getting to though. Like even though you don't like being sad, you still took the time to grieve into like just being comfortable with your friends and being funny like that. I think that's the point.
Yeah, but what happens when you show your emotions when you don't really like? You're supposed to be sad at a point. And you are supposed to express them.
Right.
So if you do not, what happens? Like
when you have that continual grief, sometimes it becomes complicated grief. Right. So when the complication comes in, then you do not express it very well. Then you have the irritation, anger. Sometimes you lunge at people for no reason.
Yeah.
Something
is happening in Ghana right now. We are all angry.
Well, we are just Right, you catch up him right now, he's sending Momo, then his mood changes. So sometimes the complicated grief comes out very bad. So you want to be able to take care of any emotions that you're going through at the time. The difficulty is that when it becomes a complicated grief, at times you do not even know the source of your anger or your emotions that you're going through at the present, right? Because it's something that probably happened like 2-3 months ago. You did not deal with it. Sometimes, yes, you did not deal with it. And at this point, you're feeling it. So it's difficult for us to trace it back to the source. So at any point in time where we're having any difficulty, let's reach out to someone or let's take care of it one way or the other.
Doc, so well, we are all on this, but I need education. Is it normal for somebody to not let pain get to him or her? Like
you never emotional pain?
Yeah. You never see them sad. You can see that they are going through like hell, but they pretend everything is fine.
Right, because they want to put a strong face.
Is it an abnormality or you think it's normal?
I don't think it's safe. No, I don't think it's safe. See, the person that is trying to put up that strong face right now probably will go home, shut the door, and be crying inside.
Yeah, but that's him inside. He doesn't want doesn't want to cry outside. Like,
right,
you have time to
repeat it. Sorry.
Okay, but then as I said, problem half solved to the right person. Problem shared is half solved, right? So in this case, if you're not sharing your problem and then you continue to go back and lock yourself up and grieve so much, and then you come up and make it seem like everything is okay, we will treat you as such. But then there's someone amongst us that could be able to help you so that you don't continue going back and locking yourself out to play.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
problem is that okay, this is how I see it. We all have issues, okay?
Correct.
Like I do not know what Mimi is going through. And so I wouldn't want to burden her with my problem. You know, because sometimes you'd go to tell somebody about your problem. Like for me, like when I put my money at men's gold, you know. I put my money at men's gold.
Best man's gone bad.
Yeah, I was telling somebody how angry I was that the money is gone. And then he asked me how much. I mentioned it. And I was like, that's the title.
Use your money.
That's the title of what he said. You know, so like I was taking, she was stealing my profit since profit.
Right.
Yeah, so my money wasn't nothing to me. So sharing my experience with that guy wasn't really important to him. So I'd rather keep it to myself.
Well, it's with the Ghanaians.
Yeah.
No, and that is why you guys corrected so quickly that problems shared with the right person is problem half solved.
But Doc,
I'm saying that everybody has a problem. So
everybody does. No, let me ask you this, right? We have professional therapists that we go to and then see for help. Do you think we don't have problems? Already also still you. But when you come as
you're getting paid for that, so you
You be okay.
It's just like comedians. There are days that we are not even happy ourselves.
Right.
We've been paid to make people happy, so you need to make them. Yeah. So
Boy, it's such a mindful.
A comment here, Vicky. To be honest, I don't. That's how I feel. Affect how I treat others. And also, he said, I think some of us weren't taught how to share.
Yeah.
Our families.
Right.
It's family.
Right. No, and that is what I'm saying. That it is a problem, right? Because we are taught, especially for men and black men, we are taught to put on a big boy face at all time.
Odogu face.
And then we have certain sayings in some of our languages that makes it
like
what? The men shouldn't have pillows on their laps.
You see what I'm saying? Oh, you see what I'm saying? So all of that makes it very difficult. Can you be able to carry that cross? Even Christ needed someone to help him with it.
It is Sunday.
Yeah.
But Doc,
even Christ.
Now you are the resource person. I'm a comedian. What you are sharing here, I have to use you for personal. So now you know we live in a crazy world where you can't even trust people anymore. Because mostly when you are sharing something that is really eating you up, now the person is like you hammering the person that the next minute, if you do something wrong, they can use that as a weapon. And I can maybe afford a professional to pour out my heart out and also help me out with whatever I'm going through. So when it happens that way, me as an individual, how do I fix it without sharing? Because now you can't trust anybody.
See, in your circle, there are some people that you go to for certain things.
No, Doc. People have trusted people thinking that they can trust them.
I understand.
And the story changes at some point.
No, I understand. I understand that perfectly. But then let me start with this. In your circle, there are some people that you go to for certain things.
Yeah.
When you need advice about real estate, you probably will not go to Nana Kojo, right? Exactly. If I need maybe advice about beauty products,
Nana Kojo, you can't help with real estate.
No, Nana Kojo. Nana Kojo, the pillowcase.
Now, if you need advice as to how to position your pillowcase on your pillow on your lap, then you know who to go. So the point I'm making is that in your circle, there are some people that you go to for certain things. So now, this is how I always look at it. How well do I know the people in my circle? When you're talking about, when we're having a conversation, and you always bring in the example of someone's personal experience into the conversation, it gives me the inclination that if I tell you about what I'm going through, you're also going to use it as an example somewhere else.
Especially pastors.
Okay.
Pastors will be bringing, and somebody came to me.
Yeah.
No. Those are not mentioning my name. It was me, and I feel it.
Do you know that last time when we met the counselor, there was this lady we went to. Yeah. I had no idea that there's a code of ethics that tells you not to share.
Right.
Yeah.
And I now started questioning some counselors I know back home because they will come on TV and I had a client and he came there. And I'm like, but
Story about me.
but if I'm a client and I'm listening to you go on radio or TV and whether you mention my name or not, you're telling the world my problem.
But the world will not know.
Can add 2 and 2 together.
Right, when they know about the story. Right. So when you share stories like that, you have to take out said information so that it does not tie to a person. Right. Okay. So the point, once again, to answer your question, Lexi, you know the people in your circle, and you have to know them very well. Because we have too many friends that we do not really know. Right. So one, you have to know them, and then know who you can tell what. Yeah. To the point of whereby it comes a point where they use it as a weapon against you. That is very unfortunate in our society, and you have no control over it. So here's my thing. At that point, I needed that help so bad. You were able to help me. Now, I've built certain resistance, right, through my journey to the point that when you're able to even come back at me with that, telling me I will come back harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go hit me,
better person.
Yeah. You see that? So let's not keep it to ourselves and let it boil within us. I'll tell you what, cardiac issues that we have is due to stress unmanaged.
Can you take that again?
Most cardiac issues that we have, right, is due to stress unmanaged. So if we're going to carry all this baggage with us at all times, every time we are too heavy.
Doc, so Malik on YouTube has a comment. He said, "This is for you." He said, "Question for you: what's the advice for the person that's always a strong friend for everyone?"
Take care of yourself, right? When you bought that flight, and then they're giving you all the tips, right? It tells you that when there's an emergency, put on your oxygen first.
That emergency has never
It doesn't happen though. You don't want it to happen though.
I always get prepped.
But you don't want it to happen.
No, I don't want it
Okay,
to happen.
cool. All right. Let's establish that.
Okay.
Which tells you that you should always prepare for the eventuality. That is one. Two, you should always help yourself first. I cannot give out of an empty cup. So I always have to be full. Right? So the more I prepare myself, the more full I am, then I'm able to share. So for that strong guy, right? For you to be strong for others, you have to be strong for yourself. So always take care of your mental health first, then you can take care of others. Yes, sir.
I don't know if I'm the one asking the question. No, so if you happen to be the funny guy among your friends, anytime
you happens
to a problem, your friends are like, you don't feel it.
Right.
You need better friends.
Every time, you are serious, so you are trying to tell them like you need to help, but because you are the one always making them, you don't need to have a problem. We should have the problem, then you find a way to make it.
Right. You need better friends,
and they probably don't have the money to
seek for a professional
help.
So once again, probably have to disclose. You have to have a disclaimer at the beginning of your problem statement, right? Telling guys, this one they are mixing.
Yes.
So know the way.
My party. No. The moment you say this, this one they are mixing. They go tap other guy.
Because it's trying to be foolish. Sometimes he says that. Sometimes you get that premise. Yo, this one they are mixing.
He's about to go. So now change the line.
Yeah. So how do I go about it?
This is life and death.
He said, laughter is indeed medicine. It reduces stress. Sharing your problems with someone who can make you laugh is one of the best things you can do for yourself. You should keep up the good work.
All right, thanks, Eric.
My math teacher that
Oh, really?
Ghana, yeah.
Shoot man for Ghana.
Keep you, eh?
Oh,
Yeah, that was my youth member.
yeah. It's a way of stressing Ghana. Like, it will be beaten out of you. You know, French teachers would.
French teachers, yeah.
French teachers,
Toxic.
Yeah, once you can't
No, you have no idea. Huh?
can't conjugate the verb être, you are done.
Ghana, Babi is a babe. So she
Ghana,
can't
you don't know.
she can't relate to French teachers. Over a Spanish
I mean, you
teacher.
can relate. Or you were beaten by a French teacher before. Oh,
Kafra.
how long have you been here?
2.
2 years.
No.
Too long.
Too long. Somebody has been here since 1987. You're
Oh, for real.
yeah. Because they come from Togo.
Yeah.
But you two, you get some French teacher experience. Conjugate the verb have. What? Manger.
Sorry. Okay, Max Webeler. Oh, okay. I feel like sometimes when the funny guy says, "Guys, this is serious," it's like, it's like automatic. Everyone starts laughing about that serious thing because it just sounds so funny.
Yeah,
That's what they were just
Because
talking
where it's
about.
coming from.
So probably you just got to change the line or the tone or the expression.
Or for about a week, be serious.
Right.
Be
Yeah.
consistent.
Or change your friends.
You're going to be sad though.
Also, like the friends that you like, expect the funny person to be funny. Friends have to have some type of barrier to be like, okay, like
Yeah, but
At least know when they
in
do
the in the group there was one person who is always funny and there's one person who's always
but
boring
you
and
can't
fun.
expect them to be that character always. You know, what I mean? Like
Yeah, that's why you as a friend have to know when they are not in a good mood.
that's what I'm saying.
Like what's wrong? If you're really a good friend, you'd know when a funny guy is not himself.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is why I say you really have to know people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We have too many acquaintances that we have them as passengers in our life.
Yep.
But then if we really treat them as Nanado says, citizens, you get to know them. And then, when they are broke, you can even tell.
Yeah.
Right? When they are broke, either financially or broken heart.
Then Doc,
Who
I've been with you for days now.
where's
You've
No,
not
why
been
haven't
able
you
to
noticed
that we
we
are
are
broke.
Chairman, me they walk where they say you been sorted.
All right, K Music on YouTube who said most of the French teachers are also no offense. Imagine French mentality. He also said
So
Right, let's do this side, I do on your side.
can relate so well because
is there any to cope with the grief? Comedy through loss, right?
Okay.
So we have a guy, Mark. He uses comedy to cope with the grief of losing a loved one. How does comedy serve as a healing mechanism during times of profound loss? In terms of losing the loss of someone or a family member, we're told to let the person let the pain out or cry it out. Do y'all think it's advisable or would it be nice to use comedy to help them out?
Some people, like I said, some people don't like being sad for too long or just showing themselves. Unless, like me, I like to laugh. Like I like to be smiling all the time. So like, if it was me, I'd want someone to come and make me laugh. Like that.
yeah, I think if you also reflect on the dead person's funny moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps really getting like
A couple months after that.
yeah, he did have fun. He's gone though, but he lived his life to a certain point that he was happy about. So yeah, I feel like when you relive those moments, it helps you with the grieving process.
Let me piggyback on what Obi just said, right? And let me get on my soapbox for a minute, and then I'll come back to the topic. When someone passes, sometimes in an accident or in some strange circumstances, and they're releasing the body, right, on social media, that thing bothers me so
Oh
much.
my gosh.
It bothers me so much. Like, I want to remember that individual for the last good image that I had of him or her.
Yeah.
Don't be showing that lifeless body on the street.
But why do people
So
do
in
so?
some cases, like they are struggling, and then we are showing all of that. It is really bad. It's bad, one, for the family, because now they have to deal with this fine gentleman or lady being shown to the world as
all over social media,
right?
Yeah.
And for most instances, like, most of us did not know the person very well, right? And now this is the image we have of that individual. It sucks. It's bad. Please, let's stop that. If you receive it, don't share, delete. But then to the issue of reliving those moments that you had with that individual. That is why it's so important not to have this last minute or last moment of that individual tragic instances, right? So if you are able to sit and reflect and ponder on the life of the individual, let's ponder on the positives, the happy moments that we have with them. Yeah. Yes, you may have had some fight with them. Probably you did not sort it out before the person passed. But then let's also look at the positives. I have patients who will be like, I know my grandma would not want me to be sad, or I know my grandpa would want me to be happy, right? So those are some of the things that they cling on to, and then use it to thrive through their grieving process. Yeah. Timing is also important.
Very.
Timing is important. So when did they happen? For some people, they may have delayed grieving. So for the first 2 weeks, they might act like everything is okay, because probably they are the only dependable person planning the whole funeral, and the family depends on them, right? So in that case, they cannot also be seen as, or they don't have the time.
They're the ones who cry indoors,
right? They are the ones that. So at some point, they should also receive the necessary break or attention that they need, so that they can also take care of their mental health or grieve appropriately.
Yes. What do you guys think about people who put cameras on them and then video themselves
They're crying?
That's
so cringe, because
like, why are you doing
so
that?
what if it wasn't good? They probably stopped the camera
it's okay,
and then they said, let me try again, and then you turn off the camera, or like in the middle of the crying, they're like, hold on, let me record this. Picked up the phone, went to the camera.
No, I should have used Vivid.
And then posted. I personally do not understand it. I think it's very cringe. I don't understand why you want people to see.
Let me tell you this about someone I found crying, right? I don't think it was a very close family member that had passed, though. But one of these Kumasi ladies, she was crying so hard at the funeral, and then there was a cassava seller.
Those who
cassava. Kwame, bruh. Yes.
My guy said,
dog.
I was like, hey, that was my first time seeing it, and I was so surprised. I was like, how do you switch from 100 to a 0? Just like boom.
Dog, me, I've seen a lot.
I
have people, like, when they are carrying the dead body to the cemetery, they cry and use the crying to tell those back home that they should leave here like something. But dog, I feel people should be allowed to grieve if they want to.
Yes,
because there's time for everything.
Correct.
If the person wants to be, because I think it's also another way of healing. You can't gag them from crying, or because you think you are funny, or there is a way they can be happy within the shortest possible time. But if I have the affiliation I have with the person, it took years. I can't just take a week or two to say, oh, I'm done with it. But I think when you cry small, then you quickly find a way to move on, because you can't just be in the dark spot for too long, because the world will keep moving. And the dead is dead, but you are still living, so you need to live for something. You can't just like harbor yourself at a corner where the rest of the people are like moving on whilst you're still crying.
But wouldn't that make you move on too quickly? Like when you move on too quickly from, like, maybe your husband passed, and and then like 2 weeks you are just happy.
Is there
around.
such a thing as
Society
moving
will
on too
judge you.
quickly,
Well,
though?
I think
No, society will judge you. Like,
Is there such a thing as moving on too quickly?
who wants
That's
to
my
grieve
question.
for like
right
a
now.
year? I mean, if it's your husband or your wife, I mean, you're not supposed. How many weeks are you supposed to wait till you date somebody else?
But I don't
after your
think that
partner
everybody
passes?
is different,
you
though.
should move
Like,
on.
I
Let
don't
them
think
move
there
on. I
should be
don't
like
care.
a set time because everybody grieves different. Everybody moves on differently. You know what I mean?
So if
Especially
I
if you
lost-
have a good mindset. Like, you're probably not saying you probably get over it quickly, but you're probably gonna find ways where you're not gonna be like in that sad, depressive state.
Okay, so there's a
but people are
difference.
gonna see you.
Let me ask you a question here. So you lost a husband.
Yeah.
6 months later, you sent us an invitation
Mhm.
Invitation to what?
to your wedding.
To my wedding?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so there's too soon.
No. But I'm not saying like I'm saying like moving on in different ways, right? I mean,
Okay,
that one is
right.
obviously gonna be suspicious.
So I guess
Okay.
But
moving
if
on
you-
is different from getting
different
over
from
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Because like you can be
Right.
moving
Yeah,
on and
moving
like
on.
go outside,
Yeah,
like
be-
maybe
live
be more
life.
sociable, but you're still grieving. But
Yeah.
like to other people, it's like, why is she outside? Like
Mm.
Yeah.
but.
On God.
Yeah, but I found ways. Like I found ways to move on. It doesn't mean I'm done
So
grieving.
if I lost
I'm-
my iPhone here, how long would you wait to ask for my charger? If you didn't?
right away. I'm asking right away. Can I?
Because that's also a loss.
Yeah.
And they are grieving over it. And it's 40, right?
Yo, Odogu with the comments. Let's go.
Alright, so Malik on YouTube said, from what I've learned so far, the loss will forever be on my mind.
Yeah.
Maybe not to tears, but it will come in waves.
Oh, yeah,
Always,
definitely.
always.
Definitely.
So you'll be reminded, especially
Yeah.
if it's a partner, you'll be reminded of certain
Well,
things they left. You
Obi, I think you
behind.
shouldn't ask for the charger. Just for the meantime, to test the person, ask for the charger head.
Let's take it slowly. Eh?
Yeah, one at a time.
Yo. Okay, so is there any more comments?
Nope,
before we wanna- So
nothing.
we're gonna talk about the therapist toolbox. So we're back to you, Doc. Do health professionals use humor in their work, and how do professionals use humor in mental health treatment or counseling? Do you? I mean, I know you think you're funny, but like, do you actually?
Oh,
use
no, I
any
don't think I am. I
comedy?
don't think I am.
Do you use comedy in any of your treatments?
Yes, we do. We do use comedy, and we use it in different shapes and forms. So there are times where you actually may recommend for someone to go see a comic actor or something, right? And then there are times also during the session, you try to lighten the scene up, right? But then you have to do it very skillfully because, as I said, you don't want to
Do while somebody's crying?
right. You don't want to seem like you're not taking my problem
Yeah.
seriously. So you have to do it very skillfully. But then comic therapy is a form of treatment, just as we have music therapy, right? So we do use it most of the time.
Anybody have anything else?
What's the question?
We're asking
Yeah,
more
maybe.
about the for the therapist. Do health professionals use humor in their work, and how do professionals use humor?
Yeah, I
in
have
mental
employed humor in my work at a point. Like there are patients that I would see that
In the case you are referring to as
as an optometrist.
okay.
health? Yeah.
That their eyes are gone, like the nerves are damaged, glaucoma is far advanced, and they would just need some tender loving care. It's called TLC, like the ones that women want now. It's for patients. You understand? It's dedicated for patients.
Yeah.
He just like slid that into it. I'm like,
Yeah,
what
not
is
sick.
TLC?
Yeah. So it's usually for people who need that, like their case is out of hand.
Yeah.
So they need those jokes, to get them moving. Some people just show up to the hospital not for drugs. They show up to talk to people. They have a particular doctor that they talk to, and they are okay. Understand? So yeah, people have different forms of relief. Yeah.
Is there any comments?
So talking about even the therapist, right? In choosing a therapist, you have to be cognizant of certain factors. Not every therapist is good for everyone, right? Yes. There has to be that connection between you and your therapist for you to be able to even open up to that individual. Because when you come to me as a therapist, you come in at a very vulnerable stage. And you should be able to open up to me as much as possible as you want me to help you. Because I can only help you based on the information that I receive. So if you give me limited information, I'll give you limited resources.
Yeah.
So right. So if you also come and I don't empathize with you, I will not be able to give you the best treatment. If I'm not culturally competent with your culture, I will not be able to give you a very good treatment. So we're talking about grieving here, right? And humor or comedy. If I have a patient from an African culture, where if you lose a spouse, you're supposed to wear black, Ghanaian culture, let me put it that way. Yeah. You're supposed to wear black for what, a year? Right? Okay. And then the therapist, yes, I think it's a year. And the therapist is not culturally competent in that culture, right? And then you keep coming in black, and they understand the color, because now all cultures have black as mourning colors.
Yeah.
So if they understand the color, then they interpret it as you being mourning for the last 6 months. And then they'll start probably asking, why are you still mourning at this level after 6 months? We understand you should still be grieving, but then at this point, you should have moved past this stage, got into that stage, not understanding the cultural context in which you're operating, right? Okay. So being culturally competent is also important. In some cases where a young Ghanaian goes to see a therapist, and then you're talking about some of the stresses at home, right? They don't understand the family dynamics of an African. So in that case, how would they be able to support you to meet the needs of the African young American? Do you guys get what I'm saying?
They are not taught at school the diverse people they would meet, because I mean you don't automatically assume that because you're a Caucasian therapist, you just be treating white patients. You know, like there should be room for other people from different cultures. So is it that they are not like people who are unable to grab that cultural like display, like the wearing or that, like is it that they didn't learn it?
Because there are so many cultures in the world right now. Okay. It's difficult to teach all of that. So some people go extra mile to study on different things, right? So there are some people that when they are looking for a therapist, they'll tell you that I want an African Black Christian therapist.
Wow, that sounds like me searching for porn.
Shut up.
You're not allowed to say that here. I'm specific. That's what I'm saying. I'm very specific.
Christian?
On Google.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I'm sorry, guys.
Before we get into it.
Sorry.
Is there anything else anybody wants to add to it? Ghana Babe,
Adogu.
Okay, we can talk about comedy in everyday life. Let me speak slowly.
Yeah. Thank you. So much.
David finds solace in humor as means of coping with daily stressors. How does finding the funny side of life be effective for maintaining mental well-being?
You have to, especially when you stay in Ghana. Everything has to be like you need to. That's why.
When you say yow.
Oh
yeah. Oh, okay.
Right. That's the Ghanaian slang. Like yow.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah. No, but for real, you need to like, because some of the stories that come up, like the headlines, are like, no, this is crazy. Like if I keep thinking about this, I may go crazy. Like, and it comes in bulk. Like you see a headline, the next one that comes blows your mind. So you may have to like try to always find the funny side of these things. Otherwise, that's why they say that in Ghana all you need is data.
They say you can't be sad in Ghana.
It's because we need that outlet. Otherwise, all of us will go bonkers. Like the rest who can't stay are living. You know. So yeah, daily you need to find the humor in certain stuff to especially cope. That's how.
And sometimes to try and if you're somebody who want to laugh on a regular, or you don't have laughter coming to you on a regular, I think you should follow certain comedians that you connect with on socials. At least you can chance on their content.
So give us your handles again.
Yeah, you can just go ahead.
So follow me on IG, Facebook, Twitter, now what X, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lexi the comic, LEKZY. The comic is DECOMIC. Autocorrect to give you demonic. Like,
Why?
change it back to the comic. Yeah, and I have some good stuff on there. I have my special and other content, my performances on YouTube too, so you can chance on them and just watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Obi, you also get.
All right. So I'm also on YouTube. Obi Amponsa. Yeah, that's and Instagram as well. I have some of my stuff too on the my Popular But Broke special. It's something you should check out. Yeah, it really speaks about Ghana and the struggles of popular people who don't have money in their pockets.
I was fortunate to be adapt. So it was definitely a good one. I missed the campaign one.
Indirectly, Doc is trying to say he won't go on your YouTube channel.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I was trying to say that I was there and I know it's very good, so people should go and watch it. And then the campaign one by Lexi.
Yeah, I had one called last month. Campaign message. Spelled CANPAIN.
Campaign, okay.
Message. So.
Yeah, wordplay right there.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a comment from K Music on YouTube. He said, "So Doc, you think it's going to be a good way to share a little of your life just to make the clients so comfortable to talk to you and not fumble?"
You don't want to make the therapy about you, the therapist, right? So you want to still keep it on the patient. Sometimes, yes, we try to give examples so that you realize that you're not the only one in that problem, but then you don't want to make it centered around you. So if even you have to throw in an example, keep it brief to the point and then get back to the patient.
Have you had cases where you go like,
I was about to ask.
Every day.
How are you even surviving?
Every day.
You're not supposed to be alive.
I will not give examples here, but every day.
But you are seated, you have to be professional, right?
Yeah, and there's sometimes I can't keep a straight face but laugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, quit by that.
Why are you laughing?
Dog, I can't be in your shoes because me, I'll laugh. Or I'll say, hey!
See, I had one patient, right, 56-year-old male come in and then suicidal. What is wrong with you? My daughter is going out with a guy that her daughter approved. I'm like, so you're going to kill yourself and now she can be with the guy for the rest of her life while you are dead? Yeah. And then he look at me like with some stuff. I'm like, no, dude, I'm serious.
He didn't need therapy for that. Actually, no, he did need therapy for that.
Actually, that was inpatient. Minimum of 72 hours hold. So, right. So, no, some of the cases is like, guy, really? My guy.
But, I mean,
Chairman, one slap. Big problem come out.
It comes to the spectrum of temperance. Like, everybody has where their limit gets to.
Right.
You know, somebody could freak out over the listing.
And
then somebody has the strength to, hold on, like his.
This be another one to another understand. 36-year-old guy with a
probably watching like, is this about me?
No. No, this one I'm giving ages because I know they nowhere close. But it could be any 36-year-old guy. Probably it's
me,
the guy with the pillow.
I'm not 36. let me issue
the disclaimer. You're not 36.
Only 36.
I'm not, mate. I'm not. Are you? How old are you?
I'm
old enough to be here. So this guy came in and then I was like, okay, what brought you here today? A friend of mine told me that I'm not worth anything, so I should go kill myself. So I attempted suicide. I was like, Chairman Bokodi. I was like, because somebody said that, so you acted on it?
He's not Ghanaian, right?
No.
I have a friend, he's a comedian, very funny comedian, Augustine Dennis. He says he can never be a doctor because he can't keep secrets. Like, he'll be at dinner with his wife. I just talk about our true. Say that be no shedding. I true no.
Odogu. Never mind. They be a pillow than
the pillow to the
But when we do talk about comedy in everyday life, I know especially for me, like those like one weekend out of a month with my friends where we're just at home chilling and laughing means so much to me. And it's like you need things like you need those in your life because especially like when it comes to winter, there's no sunlight. It's like everything just seems so depressing and and things that you literally need like that. Just like it could be just in one day.
Talking about that, it's almost
Whereas in
November.
Ghana, we
They
only have,
did just
dry
say
and,
because of
wet season.
But
Well,
you know,
no,
even
I
in Ghana,
don't
we
know,
still
it's-
get SAD.
The
though.
winter
like,
though, the winter.
I don't know. Like here, winter just brings some.
Yeah.
Winter is which period?
when the
Like
snow.
yeah, when it starts getting like this.
That's
and
somewhere around
there's
November
no
to
sunlight.
February.
I want the period. I know Hamatan and I know the rainy season.
So it's late
till
October till February. Late.
Well, you guys seem to have like
So
different
because-
seasons. Like you
Yeah,
have
I'm coming.
winter, fall.
So I'm coming.
you have
Because
fall.
there's
You
no
have to-
sunlight.
Yes, I need
It
the
put
sunlight.
it puts
Dry
you in a
season and
certain
then
mood.
wet
Yes, I
season.
want to go outside and feel the sun on
There's
my
a
face.
country
It
called
just-
Ghana. We hear of money, but we don't see money. But we are okay. No one is there.
So Ghana Bay is shocked that we have just two weathers. in Ghana.
Oh yeah, it's
You
just
didn't
two.
know that?
No, I
It's
didn't.
Hamatan.
I mean,
Hamatan.
I know it don't snow down there, but
Yeah, but
when I
it's-
actually think about it.
It's just Hamatan and rainy season.
That's it.
How much
It's no-
time?
But you realize that even during
Dry
December,
season.
How much time?
Everything in Ghana is
How
two.
much time?
Either you are
Hamatan.
poor, you are rich.
Oh my
It's
God.
raining or the sun is
What is
up.
oh,
What is how much time?
Just rain.
It's dry season.
Dry season.
oh, you
Like
haven't,
there's no
you haven't-
rain.
Summer?
Nah.
No.
Actually,
It's
dry,
okay.
dry.
It's okay. Next.
Oh, you haven't met Hamatan before.
You've not experienced
But
it.
I want Ghana, you know.
Oma
Oh my
Ghana.
God.
Oh,
Nah,
but-
I
but-
was just there.
Where?
Yeah.
When?
Country.
Like,
Which month?
I went in July.
July. Oh,
Yeah,
rainy
that's
That was your
season.
first time.
It was my first time being with.
Rainy season.
Ah.
so talking about the seasons, right?
Yeah.
Let's use this opportunity to educate here. There's something called SAD, seasonal affective disorder, right? And then during this time of the year where we don't have enough sunlight and all of that, people tend to get more depressed.
Mm.
Yes.
No.
Right. So
I think
it is a real thing.
It's
And
the
there's
land
just,
of opportunities and abundance. So
Oh my God.
I think you guys
why
create
not?
problems when there's
Nobody
Yeah,
is
yeah.
creating
Like, you
there's a
pamper-
science behind it though, Lexi.
Yeah,
you
no, like,
pamper-
it's
you
just
pamper
so
problems.
gloomy
Be-
all the time.
If it's all like cloudy outside, you don't want to go. Like you want to stay inside your bed. And there's nothing to do.
It'll probably be okay if it wasn't cloudy and like
And then
gloomy and
raining,
cold.
raining too.
Right, but
Who
like
is leaving the
everybody,
house?
you're cold. Everything
You
is
see- you
cold.
see the
it's
way-
step
I'd be
outside.
You see the way you
Everything-
guys,
everything
somebody
right
can
away
just go
dead.
on top of a bridge and wants to fall, and everybody will be beneath the bridge. I'm like, no, don't kill yourself. Then a helicopter will come. Ghana will be down there giving you, yo,
Yo, what do they want?
what's up? Jump!
You want to kill yourself? Because you be out there going, I want to kill myself. Like,
Ah,
you know what? Go? How you make it see what you go do? There's one guy climbed an electric
Electrical.
the high tension
Right.
pole. He climbed it, and the one woman's comment under somebody was video. He's like, "Hey, mom, me do me light to the I am quite free to
your life is the least of our problems, you know.
she's more worried about her health.
Because you see, it will take forever. oh.
Forever before they will fix the
Yeah.
light. So that guy eventually came down. Nobody. He's like, I'm coming down.
They'll count you down. By the count of 3. Either you jump or we come and push you.
But yeah, people do get depressed here.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
No,
Especially
the reasons-
during
the reasons
No,
for
depression is
depression.
No,
always
actually,
everywhere, but the
it
season
makes
part,
sense
yes,
though.
it's
Well,
true.
like, it's actually
enlighten us
true.
more on the SAD.
So now the body needs sunlight, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Like, I'm
vitamin
black.
D.
Give me my sun.
So when you're low in vitamin D, it even affects your mood,
Mhm.
right? So there is a role that vitamin D
Men
plays.
also need vitamin D.
Yes, sir.
Don't start.
I told you guys,
Why
man.
you-
You
I
see?
thought men, we already have the vitamin
I
D.
already knew.
No, it's not that deep.
Oh my
Wait. D for them.
That bad.
You for that baby. The one you were covering with the pillow.
You're not gonna get the end of this.
So there's a role of vitamin D in our mood, right? So when the sun is not out and we're not getting the vitamin D, then it affects our mood. And there's a science behind how it converts to all of that, right? So that is one. 2, it reduces the kind of activities that you can do.
Yeah.
right? So you cannot go out. You're stuck in the house. Less all of that.
Not sex.
But you're bored. But it doesn't affect sex, right?
That's what the Ghanaian mentality.
When
the weather is cold, it's good for sex.
It's good for forex. You always see those things.
I mean, I haven't seen it before.
Me either.
You are living in your own utopia. We are coming from
So that is part of why. Therefore, yes, it really does affect. But here's the thing, though: when it gets to spring, people's mood also escalates. Yes, it springs. So you realize that the wild colors.
When it gets to fall,
everything
falls. Right.
Wow.
That's the easiest way to actually explain it.
When it gets to winter, everybody wins.
No.
That one didn't work.
Now, guys, I want to be serious.
How can we take you serious at this point?
Dog, you continue. Mind it.
No, it's not.
Yeah, so that was the brief. I don't want to center it on SAD, but that is the brief rationale behind why people get more depressed.
So when you get to Hamatan, it means that people become
more depressed. Because see, even in Ghana, right? Part of it, look at it this way. During Hamatan, nature even acts differently.
Yeah, it dies down.
Yeah, trees dies down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So everything is dying down. So as nature even dies down, our mood also dies down. But in Ghana, we don't see so much of it because there's still some light. There's still other things that are keeping you out. There are things going on. And actually, December is the busiest month in Ghana, right? So there are things that keeps you going. But here, it's like almost everything slows down, like significantly.
In December.
Yeah,
during the winter season.
Yeah.
Late fall through early spring. Everything is almost there. And that is about 4 months. Right, from late fall to early
October,
spring.
November, December, January, February.
I mean, this is my first time here, but I like the
leaves. Yeah, it's very, very beautiful.
It's pretty, ain't it?
Yeah.
Pretty colors, right?
On this note, every December, every December, if you feel like the weather here doesn't favor you, come back home. Ghana.
My ticket.
I came here for help, so if you need help from me, I don't know how. But come to Ghana.
But you have to do a lot of layovers, like you pass through Amsterdam, Uzbekistan.
As long as I get to Ghana at the end.
In 3 days.
In 3 days.
Huh? 3 days for what?
For layovers, you know, the ticket price like $100. You'll be on the road for like 7 days, and then you land in Ghana.
At least you're touring.
Yeah.
Okay.
In airport.
No.
Yep. So that is a little bit about that one. But on the contrary to, or on the flip side, during spring, you see people with wild colors, and especially people with bipolar disorder, right? When it gets to the winter season, they really get depressed. During spring, they get manic. And you see a lot of red, pink, indigo, you know, those wild hair colors. Right? But I'm not saying that if someone is to go for a wild color, it means that they have bipolar, but in some cases, it's a symptom of it. Yeah.
How about Sakura?
Maybe can you please?
Okay, is there any comments before we move on?
Dog, don't worry, go ahead.
But on the real, though, I've never seen Sakura.
There's no comments.
Yeah. Sakura people don't get depressed. Albinos don't get depressed.
So we're gonna talk about comedy for connections.
Comedy for what?
Connections.
For connections. You have something to read?
You said,
Alright,
did you say
so-
connections or collection?
Connection.
Connection.
What became beautiful?
All right, so talking about the weather, Malik was saying, I won't lie, I love the cold, cloudy vibes. Catch me in the crib comfortable. And Yapo Kwadonko said, like, you can never be sad in Ghana. That's
That statement is so false, bro.
yeah.
Because Charlie, if you broke that one's up.
Bro, we are always sad in Ghana. We are just trying to find ways to be happy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why you cannot be sad, because there are always ways to be happy.
Wait.
Eh?
No. But Obi, for some reason, Ghana, like, you dey go through hell. Like, there is another brother man where you go feel.
Talk to.
As I can, I realize say people are living in isolation.
Yeah, here
You can see
God.
homes with cars parked, but you don't see human beings. Like, who are those driving these cars?
Yeah.
But in
That's the point
Ghana,
I was
like
about
on
to
a
say.
random, I can just
Everybody.
walk on the street, meet a
Mhm.
guy. Somebody might say hi to me. We don't even know each other.
Yeah.
And have 15 minutes
With
conversation
No, actually,
about nothing.
Even police, the Ghana police, the
Right.
kind of conversation you can have with them when they
Yo.
start, like they can share their marital issues with you. You throw one at them and
Or
just
you give
move
them a
on.
bribe. Yeah.
No, you give them a gift.
Well, yeah.
Something
Yeah.
small for the
When my
boys.
visa was approved,
For the-
and I was on my way, like I was happy,
Right.
visa to the US, and then I ran a red light, and then they stopped me. She entered the car. I mean, ideally, I'm supposed to sort her before she goes. So I was about giving her. She said, "Camera, camera." And crazy. We did two cars. We did two, and so we drove, and then. I was like, oh, I buy I'm happy. I just got my visa. I said, I will call him say US. I said, oh, me so sao. Me
Ghana,
go
please.
Germany. Now me kuno started telling me that
No,
They will tell you
she
their
has to go on
problems. You
voluntary
cannot.
retirement and stuff before we got there, and she still took her money. And then she left.
She still took the gift.
Oh, the gift,
Yeah.
and then
That
she
was the
left.
point I was also gonna get to, because like here everybody is so isolated, right?
Mhm.
So that's why they love the summertime, because people
Mhm.
are outside, right? So it doesn't it feels a little bit more of a community in the summertime,
Oh,
but
okay.
everybody's already isolated as it is, and then wintertime is like nothing to do outside. So then I was like, oh, I'm by myself. I'm in my room. My friends can barely come outside because it's
Yeah.
cold. Nobody wants to go anywhere. Boom.
So I don't
depression.
know, like shows that you guys go to like during the winter.
I mean, you could try
Unless
and go
somebody has a
outside.
funeral.
Yeah, you.
like
I
shows,
know
maybe
like
Beyonce
shows.
has a show, comedy
Oh, like
shows.
concerts.
Yeah, concerts.
People
No,
No,
barely
indoor
cold.
shows, not an
See,
outdoor
There's
show.
still though, but like if it snows really bad or like if it's really cold,
We're all
nobody
stuck in the
wants
house,
to step
yeah.
outside.
You see
Oh.
how
I mean,
like it
during
starts
Christmas,
drizzling
like
in
how
Ghana
nice,
and it's
yeah.
like weather then didn't
Good
have so nobody want
nobody
to
wants to
leave.
go out.
Right. So
Oh,
when
you're saying.
when the weather get bad, it doesn't motivate you.
Like, you
Yeah,
just
you
feel like
don't
staying
even.
home all
It's
day.
just too cold.
Usually what you
Yeah.
really go to is funeral, birthday parties, stuff like
Like
that.
little
Well,
things.
that's just cold as well.
Oh,
So
Tawana.
you should go
Right.
for
So sometimes you just step up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
it's like, yeah, go ahead.
Quick comment on YouTube from Eric. Said, Doctor, is it positive that you will work out something with OB and Lex the next time, or OB and Lex the next time you are in Ghana? There's so much stress. People need
I'm telling you.
education of mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2019 is when I did the feel good experience in Ghana. And actually, we're working on a project here in the States
No.
for next year with them, mental health and comedy,
Yeah.
where we do a tour in the States. So just keep that in mind. We'll give more details later. In terms of Ghana, once we get the ball rolling, yes, we can also replicate that in Ghana.
All right, that's it.
Okay, we're gonna talk about laughter in the workplace, which is your everyday life. Is your workplace.
Well,
How does workplace that encourage humor and laughter positively impact the mental health of employees and create a more enjoyable work environment?
Makes the job more fun.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not happy at your job or you're not liking your job, you even want to work there. At least that's for me.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not happy at my job, I'm not working there.
Yeah.
Because I will quit.
What if they're paying you good money?
Get the money. If I'm not happy, I'm not working there. Yeah.
We'll
That's
say
a
this now.
good principle.
Well, one thing I know is any working environment where the CEO or the head of whatever department you work in is easygoing, he allows people to actually have a playful environment. You can see that productivity actually shoots up. Right? When they are like working out in fear, like the boss shows up and everybody's actually cringing.
So
they are,
tense.
Yeah, tense.
Yeah.
You know, it has a way of hindering like productivity. Fortunately for me, my job, it's something like I was doing from childhood, and I started making money from it. So I don't see it as a work. It's more of like a hobby paying me. And most of my work, my colleagues are also comedians. So we tend to throw jokes at each other, we laugh at each other. So I don't see this kind of like this as a problem. But I don't know about those who work in the corporate space as to how like the laughter thing works for them. But for my observation and what I see in movies and certain places I've been to, I feel like when the boss is quite okay, easygoing and all, it helps the people over there too.
Definitely makes me want to actually go to
Into
work.
Yeah.
It's like, especially like we said in the wintertime, you're already barely with people, and then the place that we spend a lot of time in our workplace, especially like us that actually have to go into somewhere. We spend like 40 hours there. So it's like those 40 hours, it was just like a depressing 40 hours. And then it's cold and you go home. It's another depressing, you just go to sleep. It's like, it just becomes like a cycle of just like boring, bland life.
So maybe, would you say if there is one individual at work who makes you happy, like
my work husband,
everybody,
Right.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, you might not have the motivation to go to work, but like, okay, if I go out, I stay home, I might miss out on this guy's vibe. So,
or you miss out on your salary, bro.
You're not thinking about the money.
But when people have genuine reasons to stay home, they can call into the office and say, "Oh, today I can't come." But yes, if you are sick, you can't go. But I know people who go to work even when they are sick
because of the environment.
There's a guy in there who would always spark something.
Yeah.
So, work and laughter, I think it's very essential, right? It's a necessity.
I haven't seen anybody laugh in the courtroom.
In the
courtroom,
because ain't nothing
funny.
Unless you don't watch
making judgments. Judge Judy.
No, K.A.T.R. versus Makola.
What of Mog?
They laugh all the time.
Yes, messing around
But actually, in the real courtroom, there are times where even the lawyer and the judge picks on each other, and then they laugh for a moment, and then they got to turn serious again. But then with work, it's an essential component of your work environment. If not, then it becomes boring, dead. There's nothing going on. And even talking about work and productivity, you realize that nowadays some offices make it more like a play area.
Yeah.
Right? Where they throw in more colors in the environment, they throw in more rest areas, they throw in quiet rooms,
game rooms.
Yeah.
That's why I find this place very
Angie be sleeping at work. Like she has a sleep room.
They were really cool. Yeah.
Like
you wake up to work.
So Obi, you can learn, and then when you go back to the clinic, you can implement that.
It's like put a local pool in the clinic. Take out space.
All right, so there's a comment on YouTube from K Music. Said this is true, but a lot of people also take advantage of you, the boss. Talking about the workplace. Sometimes when the employees are your friends or your talk mates, I feel there should be some kind of boundaries.
Most definitely.
Most definitely. I was the director of nursing, right, for about 2.5 years, and I'm one that, like, I can't be serious all the time. I cannot be, right. I got to lighten up an environment. I got to, keep going, and you will know when I switch quickly. You will know, and when I switch, you have to switch. You can't stay there, right? And when I realize that you're still slow, then I'll have to spell it out to you that, dude, at this point, you got to pick up the pace.
Yeah.
And I think because of the relationship I had with them, I had more from them than the other bosses that were always straight and always about numbers, right? At that point, it's like, I can't be chasing numbers all the time, right? But then when it's a more cordial environment and you have that relationship with them, and then you asking for numbers, at that point they know, okay, I got to do it for him or her.
All right. Malik too said, in his own experience, a positive and comedic environment will even motivate me to go to work sometimes, even 30 minutes earlier.
Right.
Hey, now you pushing it. Now you pushing it.
You pushing it.
Y'all gonna get me at 7 o'clock.
Never that happy to go to work.
I'm so happy to go to work at 7.
Like
30 minutes earlier.
30 minutes earlier.
No, maybe 5 minutes early. Maybe 10 minutes early.
Traffic.
People get to work early, it's beat traffic, and they stay late because they also want to beat traffic again. So their bosses think, oh, he comes in so early and leaves quite late. Nah.
This ain't for
There's
you.
a different motivation.
This ain't for
It's
you.
for him and for you.
But going back to K Music's comment, we use it at my workplace as well. And as soon as my boss, he's like sometimes he lets us leave early, like if we're real productive. And as soon as he sees we're taking advantage of it, we have a meeting real quick. We're like, we're not doing this anymore this week, And then we're like, okay, like we're taking a little advantage, like let's pull back. And then he goes right back, so you guys can leave, right? So it's all about, like he said, setting boundaries and just making sure they're not taking advantage of the situation. Yeah. Any other thoughts, comments?
Nope, there's no comments.
Okay, what this says. Wait, give me just a second. I think he deleted it.
While she finds the second, Lexi, so do you do anything else apart from comedy? Because I don't think like you're doing a show every week.
No, there was this man called Reverend Albert Okran, and he said he advised me, and that's what I'm using with my career. He said, don't do anything far from what you love to do. Rather, create more branches out of the same thing you do. So I do stand-up comedy. I'm on TV still doing comedy. I'm on radio still doing comedy. I do acting, it's still comedy. I MC, I still do comedy. So it is still comedy, but different branches of it. So yes, anything I do will still drag me back to the whole comedy tree that I like.
That's amazing.
Oh, I mean, if I'm doing, I can tickle you as my girl.
Yeah.
I just brand that one as a
It's all right.
mini.
Comedy bringing people together.
So has Malik sent any messages?
We love Malik. In terms of friendship and even romantic relationships, why do women say they want a man who makes them laugh?
Because if you can't make me laugh,
You've been sober all through, but
This one just tickled there.
You've had a very soft-spoken voice ever since we started.
I don't want to talk about
no, go on.
All right, what I was saying is, I just feel like if you can't make me laugh, what's the point? Nothing. What's the point? What's the point?
To make you do other stuff.
Nah, I feel like you gotta make me laugh. If you gotta make me laugh, then there's no relationship.
Hold on,
Really?
so
No, it's a list of things you have to check off, and that's one of the things. If you can make me laugh, then it's like, come on now.
Wow.
Yeah.
What if God brings you somebody that has all the things on your list, but they don't make you laugh?
on pet.
Then I'll make him laugh. Okay, it's okay. I want you to.
So
But
you
not
take
just
it,
like
they don't laugh.
we can't have it all. We can't have it all. So
Yeah, you can't have it all. Although you were saying something.
Oh, I was trying to tell her. So, like, what if he's always like making you laugh, but he's not really serious with you or something? Although he has that one quality of you.
Yeah.
what you mean he's not
Is that your
serious?
problem?
Like,
No,
you
continue.
don't
like he makes other girls
go
to
ahead.
laugh.
Huh?
Like he makes other girls to laugh. Like
If he like a playboy,
not really a playboy in a
because
sense.
It's
play
naturally
that
funny.
game.
Not really like a playboy in a sense. Like
Obi,
in
you heard it right? Okay.
not really like a playboy in a sense, but like in his own like kind of person, he's
So if he's
kind of
like,
person who makes,
if he just like his character, like that's his character,
makes other people to laugh.
then that's fine. What are you trying to get at?
Cause the way he's saying it, the way he's saying it, it's like you just want him to
Exclusive.
make kind of like
No, if you make me laugh, you make me laugh.
okay.
I mean, once you're in the relationship together, I mean,
Like you gotta be funny. Like why are you not funny?
Okay. So if he's not funny, but pays for other people to make you laugh, like he takes you to comedy shows. So maybe you
Yeah,
guys
but
will be
that's
watching
funny.
comedy shows. He has a good sense of humor by like identify those who are funny, but he cannot make you laugh.
How can you not make somebody laugh though?
Oh,
Angie,
yeah.
is everybody a comedian this
well,
one?
maybe he sees a meme and he
Like-
shows it to you.
Okay, I don't know. Go ahead. Next
But
question.
but here's the thing though about the making me laugh part.
like which one was it? Because anybody can make anybody laugh.
Right, but it cannot be constant. It cannot be like
I mean,
all the
obviously,
time.
yeah.
Right? Even for you that doing it on a professional level, I don't think that you make your
I think
is
the
it partners?
relationship is-
What do you have?
Doc,
do we
you
have?
go on. Malik. Mas Malik.
I think in a relationship, you're either making her happy or you're making her sad.
Yeah.
There's no neutral.
No, why
Which
would
is
you be
what?
making me sad?
No, I'm not talking about sad. Neutral.
everything is
At
good.
some point,
You're
there's
not
some
happy, you're
neutral.
not sad, you're
Right.
just
just
eating.
flowing with it.
Just eating.
Then it ceases
Yeah,
to be a
that's not
relationship.
fine.
You're just tolerating each other.
No. What I mean is that,
There's no reason.
like, we've been together for 5 years.
Yeah.
So with the 5 years, you are either laughing or sad. There's some neutral emotions too.
Yeah, but that one nobody gives it. You just like I'm saying that my effect on you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my effect
Okay,
on
okay.
you
All right.
should make you excited to be with me.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
all the time. And that's what women mean when they say I want a guy who will make me. Well, some guys can't crack joke for nothing, but their actions, the way they will tickle, like something they do.
They are
Tickle
cra-
you.
Yeah, I tickle.
You
I tickle for a
like-
living.
He's a tickler.
I'm a ticklerologist.
All right, Kofi
that's
K
it.
has a comment on YouTube right now. It's for two
Lexi?
comedians. Yes, two comedians. So he said, "How do you or comedians feel when people make comments like hey, what the Jimmy there? And I would Jimmy, even though you know it's a compliment. How do you guys feel about it? You take
Well, it depends on the contest.
Okay.
Yeah.
It depends on the after I've killed the show, I've been paid. I have some good money on me, and you see me like, you fool.
So that's a good contest.
Yeah.
What money
but like,
back pocket
because there are days that maybe I might not be in the mood to even have a conversation. I'm seated, or maybe having a serious conversation with somebody that I'm trying to like lock a deal. Then you are just passing by and you just throw in that comment like, "Hey, you like you this? Hey, you fool!" Sounds like it derails you, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
It's always me.
Yeah, but
well, me, I get that a lot. It's the job I do, and that's what I get from people.
So you don't really take it
I don't
personal
really.
for
No.
real?
Okay. I think people. If there was any better word to describe how good you are, probably they would have used it.
Yeah.
But because of the job you do, they don't have any other adjective to compliment you by saying like, "Ah, Charlie, you fool." Mostly, the girls try. The girl like, "Oh, you're funny. Like you're funny." But the guys, I don't know whether it's jealous
They
or
don't wanna
like,
be
our
like,
language is different.
You
They
fool
can't
over
steal
me,
on a
I fool
woman.
past you. Like you fool past me, so what?
The guys are appreciative in that way.
Yeah.
Like guys who come to comedy shows, a lot of them feel like they are funnier than the comedian.
Comedian. For real.
Yeah, so sometimes you just
And they're just standing
they're
there.
just like
they're barely laughing. Like,
Especially if they came with a girl,
Yeah,
and the
the
girl they
ladies
laugh.
laughing,
guy,
they're like,
guy.
Oh, blown on fire.
No,
yeah,
They're
because
like, this is what
she's
you're
laughing
laughing at.
and hold, but it's good for them because comedy is like foreplay. Like it helps the guy.
Wait. What's the comedy is like?
yeah, foreplay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like you know, she's hugging you, she's happy. Like it sets the mood for the for the rest of the night.
This one is not there.
Can you be specific for our audience?
I just gave
For
you an
our
example
audience
now,
or for
like-
you or do
We have a good boy.
Yeah, so I mean, I've met people say that to me, especially in traffic. Like somebody just pulls out the head in church and shouts, "It will be Jimmy,
With Jimmy, like
for
real, yeah.
Me that's it. Nyame no dem ma. Amanso na oje enti yem fancy.
Said the agents are Niba Kufu.
Sana
Jimmy and
Jimmy
Okay. all right.
just accept it as a compliment, unless the person is being passionate in a derogatory manner.
Yeah.
Like where Jimmy.
No, that hurt.
Yeah, that one.
Like
That one.
Or maybe you're trying
You be saying
to
that.
pass a comment across.
You say to me.
Like, oh, but you there, you fool, you know, feel like I be there, you be fooling.
Exactly. When
Like-
people use that as
But like we're having this kind of
yo.
good conversation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No.
Like I'm making a point. Then because he knows me, like, oh, you there?
This no be
you-
comedy.
you-
This
you-
no be
you-
comedy.
you-
Surely.
you challenge on the fool.
Yeah.
But
That
I
one
make
will
serious.
piss me off,
Like
yo.
men's go chopping money. They try tell the world say
No,
let's
this no
chop
be
my
comedy.
money.
Show the
No,
fool
show
and
the
Yeah.
Yeah,
for real. So
that's get real though.
And comedians are not always comedians everywhere. Like
Yeah.
you don't meet a banker at church and say, "Can you cash my check for me?"
And then you see that
Exactly.
You don't meet Bukum Banku.
through boxing every day.
Yeah, and they say let's box. That's why when we came,
When he said, tell us
make
a
me
joke.
laugh. Like,
Let me see a
okay.
boxer and say
No.
like, give me a punch. Let me see.
Yeah, you didn't say that to a boxer. So there are serious moments and the other moments when you're on stage. Yeah, that's why when a comedian is on stage, he's at work.
Yeah.
You understand? And so he expects everybody to pay attention to him. And so when a heckler comes in, it's like you're interrupting his work. You understand? It's just like a banker, and then somebody just walks in, receives a call, like it's just talking.
Or
all
wants to
over.
use the saliva for the banker to use to count his money.
Like what?
That's the best example you could get. I don't know. Want to use it?
Like, I beg, give me your thumb.
I once saw a journalist do that. You know, those old journalists who are used to the graphic.
Right.
So they do this. Yeah, he was using an iPad. He was and then he swiped to the next
Yo.
video. Yeah.
I didn't realize that during COVID, right, there was someone that was giving
Yeah,
lecture about COVID. You saw that one?
And she said, "Don't touch your face, not for any reason." And I said,
By a sister podcast channel.
"What?"
A sister podcast. I mean, FM station. Your sister station.
Right.
Your sister podcast.
All right, so we
I'm confused.
have a comment from K Music.
Malika.
It's a comment.
Yeah, from K Music.
Okay.
Still the comedian. So how do you feel if you make a joke on stage and nobody reacts or understands it? Charlie,
That's why I was gonna ask, like, what are some of the struggles of being a comedian?
Okay, so what do I say? Like the best surgeons don't even get it right every time. Like, there are days that they end up messing up. So initially I made a statement that God, even in His